Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Well, this defense for the Cards, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
From the 29, Trubisky. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11. And the Rams had 1-7 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
It's a jet sweep. Trubisky pops it forward. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for this with Akers. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter. But that time, they were up to the challenge.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brycen Hopkins. His second touchdown on the season. And the Rams are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. In motion left goes a tight end. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Got a man open, it's Darren Waller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Greedy Williams on the stop.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was...
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. There's Wilson to throw. Open man is Denzel Mims. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
In motion right is Hopkins. Again, Wilson. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They go play action with Wilson. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller. And
trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
After the interception, here's Trubisky to the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky, eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a give. Akers running left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And now off to the races down the right side. 20. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick 6, escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. No surprise there, Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. The Rams and Cardinals, they met 3 times a season ago. They each won in the other's building in the regular season. The Cardinals 37-20 in Week 4, and the Rams in Week 14 on Monday night would win it 30-23. And then, of course, they would also meet in the first ever Monday night wild card game, the final game of the first Super Wild Card weekend. And the Rams kicked off their title run with a 34-11 win at SoFi. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Wilson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. Touchdown, Cardinals. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked to his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Trubisky. And this is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Here's Andy Lee now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. With that one, anything but a frozen rope to the outside, and it winds up an interception.
And these are the ones you hope for as a defender, because he's got clear sailing in front of him to return this one a long way. And he sets his guys up in good shape with a terrific return.
A jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. To throw is Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Prater's kick is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. Throwing here, Trubisky. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 2nd and 15 now. Trubisky going to look deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Trubisky. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for L.A. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And he's got some space here.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Play action. It's Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick six on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. That is caught by Mims. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Play action. Now Wilson. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by DJ Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trust...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Rams are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, Throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Trubisky will throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Hey, 18.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Trubisky.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
On 2nd and 10, Trubisky.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. In motion right is Wilson.
18.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
First down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Throwing now is Wilson. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, Charles, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number